Hey everybody, how's it going? B Temple back again, and today I've got another very uncommon ration. This particular one is from July of 1945, so it's a World War II issued ration. As you can see, 745. And what we have today is, well, as the tin shows, a LifeBoat and LifeRaft ration, which was approved by the U.S. Coast Guard. So what we would have had here was this one particular tin would have been included, actually, within a lifeboat or a life raft, which would have been carried by either the United States Navy or also on U.S. Coast Guard ships. This would have been, issued to U.S. Navy ships or Coast Guard ships during World War II. Usually there would have been this one tin, and then for every one tin, you would have also had 3 water canisters, which would have been exactly the same size as this. And those water canisters would have held, I believe, 1 2/3 quarts of water, which works out to about a little over 1.5 liters of water. So yeah, if you had 3 of these cans, and there would have been 9 cans of water, whatever, that kind of thing. Whatever the ratio was every one of these 3 cans of water. This particular ration, this is the oldest one of these particular types that's ever been reviewed online, so I'm very excited to have a chance to crack this open and see how everything actually is. I only know of 2 other reviews of this particular type of ration of this size, and one of those is from Old Smoky, and the other one's from Steve 1989, and both those guys are great. They're good buddies of mine, and I know that Old Smoky's was from I believe 1956, and I think Steve's was from 1973. So to have one from 1945 from World War II itself is absolutely fantastic. I can't wait. The inside of the can, everything seems to still rattle and shake, which is a good sign. That hopefully means nothing's burst or nothing's expanded too much. There doesn't appear to be any sort of bulging for the can itself from the inside, meaning that something's gone like horribly rancid, and there's a buildup of gases due to that. So everything should be pretty good. What we have inside will be 7 ounces of Pemmican, 7 ounces of what's called Ration C, which should be crackers, 7 ounces of chocolate, which probably will be Hershey's tropical chocolate bars, and 7 ounces of malted milk, which will probably come in 1 ounce tubes, so 7 of those. The Pemmican, I'm not 100% sure how exactly that's going to be. It's going to be probably in, small cans. But I don't know if it'll be just fruit pemmican or fruit and meat mixed together. That's probably the one item that I'm a little bit apprehensive about. That's the one item that's probably going to be gone bad, or possibly horribly bad. Once again, I'd like to thank Steve 1989 for giving me some sort of extra info on this. And Steve was actually the person who let me know about this particular ration. It was on sale on eBay, and usually if these things come up, they come up as an auction, and then the prices go crazy high. The particular seller who had this on eBay had it for a very good price, and Steve let me know about it, knew that I was probably interested, and I picked it up right away, and it arrived fairly quickly, and I thought, well, it's a good time to get this done, because it's just near the end of July now, so this particular ration is 73 years old this month. So, not really a whole lot technically to do about this. Like I said, I don't have a P38 or a P51 like I used in my last review for the MCI cans. So I'll just use the thread to open this. I'm going to open this outside just to be safe. I don't need any of these gases sort of escaping or whatever here inside the kitchen. So, yeah, I'm just going to go off camera for just 1 second. I'm not going to open it from this end. I'm going to open it from this end here. I like to retain that part of the packaging. And then we'll come back and see what the contents are like. Alright, that actually was a lot easier to open than I anticipated. This was actually easier to open than some of those MCI cans I had for my last review. So that's a bit of a good sign, I guess. Got the tray out. Let's sort of pop the lid off this. Doesn't smell too bad. It has that sort of standard kind of smell you would get from some, old canned food, especially with something that's got chocolate and crackers and stuff in it. So, let's see. So we've got a lot of, I guess, cocoa dust is the best way to put it. And I guess the easiest thing to do is just try to dump this out as easily as we can. What we have on top is what I assume is the biscuits. They don't want to come out very well. They're catching on this little area right here in the corner. Oddly enough, everything is... Oh, that's the reason why everything's in bad shape. They had the Hershey's tropical bars within the same cellophane packaging as the crackers. So that probably doesn't bode well for any of this stuff. And then as we can see on the inside, we've got malted milk tablets and our Pemmican cans. Just going to dump this out. Oh, and then oddly enough, they actually give you a key inside, although that probably just fell off one of the Pemmican cans. So here we have it. Looks all right inside, aside from all of the chocolate dust. We have a big pile of mess, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of take this and sort of rearrange it so it looks a little bit nicer, so I'll be back in 1 second. Alright guys, so mildly, well not mildly, very disappointed that this looks pretty well ruined, I suppose, entirely. Our two Pemmican tins, one of them is already burst, you can tell by all of the wet cocoa powder that sort of stuck to it in chunks, and this one is as close to bursting as you can possibly get. Look how bulged that can is. Just give you an idea of what the ingredients are in here, if anyone actually is interested. So we've got seedless raisins, peanuts, evaporated apples, dextrose, hydrogenated shortening, soya oil, vanilla extract, and salt. And it's 3.5 ounces per tin, so you get 2 of them. I'm not going to open either one of them. I think it'll just defeat the purpose. And I'm not particularly a huge fan of botulism. So, we're just going to leave them as they are. So, yeah. Very, very disappointed that this turned out this way. We got 2 keys, one for each can. What we ended up with were 3 Hershey's chocolate bars, or Hershey's tropical chocolate bars. And oddly enough, the tin said 7 ounces of chocolate, but yet we only get 3 2-ounce bars, as you can see by the packaging here. Net weight 2 ounces. So we actually only get 6 ounces of chocolate. But I guess in a survival situation, you would have been complaining about something like that. And then we get, like I said, our 7 tubes or packs of malted milk tablets, 1 ounce each. And then we get a bunch of crackers. And as you can see, since they were packed inside with the Hershey's tropical chocolate bars and they burst all apart, everything is covered in this kind of cocoa dust. Some of the crackers look worse than others. This one doesn't look too bad. Just to give you a sense of what they are. They're square. They don't appear to be salted. They certainly don't smell very good. I'm going to try the chocolate first, just to see. And if the chocolate is really, really bad, then I'll know then that there's absolutely zero hope for these crackers. Hershey's tropical chocolate bars, they always seem to turn out like this after a period of time. These are meant to be shelf-stable, or somewhat shelf-stable chocolate bars that are meant to withstand high heat, hence the tropical name. But obviously they dry out over time. And yeah, that happens. Alright guys, I don't know how any worse this could possibly get. Unless, of course, one of these Pemmican tins decides to just spontaneously explode and I get covered in Pemmican shrapnel. But anyway, what I was trying to do was trying to pick up a piece of Hershey's tropical chocolate and actually try a little piece of it. It's probably going to be a bad idea, but let's give it a little tiny taste. Yeah, that's horrible. Oh god, yeah. that's just gone horribly bad. Just for the sake of saying we tried it, let's see what one of these Hershey's Tropical Chocolate impregnated crackers are sort of like. It's a shame, actually, because I think if these crackers had been packed on their own, they might have actually been pretty good. They actually taste pretty good. They still got a nice crunch to them. It's a little bit of flecks of wheat in there. It's a good overall flavor, I must say. It's obviously just a sort of standard, you know, white cracker. But yeah, it's actually not bad. Aside from the fact it's got all this cocoa dust on there. Well, like I said, we're not going to try to open up those Pemmican packets, cans. It would be fruitless. There's no way I'm going to eat them anyway. So, you know, it is what it is. We're going to open up at least one packet of these malted milk tablets. Let's pick one of the ones that seems to be in the worst shape, I guess. Now, I guess we'll look at one of the better packs. So the ingredients list we have here is malted milk with 0.2% of stearic acid. Yeah, this is just one of those examples of the type of ration review that just goes horribly wrong, and you kind of just got to roll with it. Now, I can't really find any. Okay, they just slide out like a pack of Lifesavers. So they're wrapped in foil and then wrapped in wax paper. Now, they got a nice light color, actually. They don't look too bad. Sorry for the cocoa dust all over myself. Let's try one of these out. So yeah, that just tastes like sour milk. So yeah, awesome. At least the packaging looks okay. I'm sure if I really tried to get down to it and clean them off, at least I'd be able to salvage 5 or 6 of those to make them at least look worthy for presentation purposes. Absolutely none of the Hershey's Tropical Chocolate bars are in any way salvageable. They've all burst their way through the packaging. The Pemmican is toast, completely toast, and the crackers are covered in this cocoa dust, even though they still taste pretty good, oddly enough. So guys, this has been a bit of a, not even a mixed bag, this has been a not a very great experience. So we got to open one of our LifeBoat, LifeRaft rations from the U.S. Coast Guard from July of 1945. So this is a World War II issued item. I'm sure this would have been fantastic if it was at least somewhat fresh, and it probably would have fared a lot better if the individual items were packed within themselves. You know, if all the milk tablets were together in a package, if all the chocolate was together in a package, instead of putting the crackers and the chocolate together in one package. The minute that one of these bars started to go bad and burst through, then everything else inside is ruined. And then, of course, it's kind of hard to expect 73-year-old cans of Pemmican to somehow survive. So, yeah, guys, this hasn't been an overly exciting review, but it's been an interesting look at what I would basically just call a time capsule. You know, to be able to open up a can of something that quite possibly could have been somewhere in some sort of theater of World War II, although by July of 1945, the war in Europe at this point would have been finished, but the war in the Pacific still would have been going on. But, you know, it is what it is. This has just been a nice sort of look at what United States Navy seamen, or maybe Marines who would have been stationed on board some of the ships, may have had to have lived on in the event that maybe their ship was sunk and they had to quickly jump into a lifeboat or a life raft and then live on something like this for a number of days. So guys, hopefully I'll be getting back to you as quick as I can. The wedding is approaching. It's less than 2 weeks from now. Things are getting kind of busy. So this one here, even though I said the last time, this particular ration may be the last one I do for a couple weeks. But if not, if I find a little bit of free time here and there, who knows? Try to come back with something that's you know, once again interesting. I've done a number of vintage reviews lately, so it might be nice to maybe go back to something that's a little bit modern, you know, actually newish. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys, for stopping by. Have a good one.